Hi everyone, I hope you guys have been well. I am finally back in my dorm, as you guys can see, and it is the start of a new school year and my last semester of college, which is super exciting. So it's been really hectic, but I am finally back for sure. I know how insane this sounds, but I used to never be a morning person until now. Waking up at 5 a.m. has a lot of benefits, and it has really thoroughly changed my structure, my lifestyle, and everything else. So let's get into it. So over the past few years, honestly, I was going through my TikToks, my YouTube, and I've been seeing that everybody's been waking up early, and I honestly just thought it was a productivity trend that didn't really suit me. And I just thought it was kind of that burnout culture. I thought that it wasn't really worth it, and that eventually I just get really burnt out and I would just hate life. But that didn't really happen. So how I started was that, so I had a coach and also a hitting partner that would literally wake up at 5 a.m. on the weekends and ask me to hit with him, because obviously he has lessons throughout the day, and that if I wake up early I could just hit with him before he teaches. And so I did, and a few weekends I hated it, honestly. It was the worst. Because I felt like I had to get up. It felt like, oh, I had to get up to train. But something clicked. I don't know what did. Maybe something crazy inside me decided to be why don't you just try waking up early with purpose? That was honestly the mindset shift change that really turned me from a very I hate mornings to I'm a very morning person now. I realized that if I was to wake up early, I would need a schedule, I would need a purpose to wake up, and I would need something instantly gratifying that makes me want to wake up. Because I realized that humans have a tendency to want something to instantly have a good result. And so for me, even making a simple cup of matcha in the morning, even just simply journaling in the morning. And so with that, I started to have a purpose. And honestly, it wasn't until the last month and a half that I've been implementing waking up very early to do what I need to do. So early in the morning, I either go to the gym or just have an extra tennis practice session. But along with that, before I wake up to do any of those things, I bought this daily quotes book that I can read a quote and I try to implement that throughout the day. So honestly, I have a daily quotes book. It's a 365-day kind of book, and every day I read that quote and try to implement that purpose of the quote throughout the day. So it feels by the time I wake up, I already have a purpose. The next thing is that waking up early, it is so peaceful. The air is fresh. It's still kind of dark, but the sun is slowly rising as you get up with it. And it just makes you more productive because your brain is clear. It's just the start of your day and the start of your morning. And so if you make it such a good morning, you'll naturally flow into a very productive state. And also, not only that, you get very naturally attuned to your body. And I realized that this really happened to me. I naturally became more aware and have a purpose, and I felt more fulfilled throughout the day when I actually woke up early than staying in late. So as a Division 1 athlete, a student, and someone that also has multiple jobs, I honestly just do everything in the morning. So I implement the eat the frog tactic, as I mentioned in my latest video, where I just do the hardest things first. Because honestly, even if you feel you aren't the most productive in the morning, you'll naturally be productive in the morning just because you have done all these things, and that it's just such a natural calming environment that you'll be more in tune to do those things. And so I do all my heavy workload, because by the rest of the day, then I feel I can slowly take the burden off of me, and it really helps me implement this energy level kind of schedule where I put everything heavy in the first morning and afternoon, and then naturally just relax throughout the night. It also makes me sleep earlier and actually makes me have a very structured sleep schedule. Before, I used to sleep around 9, 10, 11, 12. It would just vary all the time, and I would wake up different moments. But because now I strictly fall asleep between 9 and 10 o'clock, that I had to plan out my schedule that matches that kind of sleep schedule. So not only does it make me have a better sleep schedule, it also gives me more discipline, but also more self-respect for myself, if that makes sense. And I mean that as in I used to be a very I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you, and I would people please if people ask me to do things. But now, because I have such a strict sleep schedule and such a set schedule, it not only helped me gain confidence, but it also helped me in terms of being able to say no, because I know how important my schedule is to me, and that like if I kind of break the flow of that rhythm, I know that like it will be kind of like terrible, because like who wants to sleep at 12 and wake up at 5? But now that like I have such a good sleep schedule and such a good schedule in general just for my academic and work life, that it naturally falls in play, and I realize like what a different person I turn out to be. The most important thing I do want to mention is that you can take breaks. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. It can be exhausting at first, so I would say take breaks. So like sometimes I'd be 3 days waking up, then 3 days off, you know what I mean? So just like take those breaks if you need it, if you don't feel like it. But then also slowly edge into the rhythm, and once you set that, try to like consistently follow that schedule, because then it will naturally flow to you. And now for me, like waking up at 8 a.m. is like late to me. So everything moves up in your schedule, so be prepared to like have your body like naturally adapt to that schedule. But yeah, don't like cold turkey it, as in like don't just go straight into like sleeping at 9 if you usually sleep at like 1 a.m. Slowly flow into that time every day, so like sleep a little bit earlier, wake up a little earlier. Don't just jump in, because it's gonna be terribly exhausting for your body to keep up that. And that's honestly, at the end of the day, this schedule depends on what you think you need. So like if you have a lot of work at nighttime, then I wouldn't suggest this schedule to you, because like it would be so exhausting to like sleep at 12 a.m. wake up at 5. So this all depends on like what your already established work schedule is, and then you can base all of your sleep based on that, and like base your energy level off of that schedule. So for example, like if I had practices that were super late at night, I wouldn't do that to myself, because I know like how painful that would be for my body. Because the most important thing is sleep for your body. Like you need to be sleeping, you need to be recovering, you need to have good nutrition and good like eating habits. And yeah. Oh, another tip is definitely not eating 2 hours before you have to go to bed. So my eating schedule is a little bit different now. So like if I go up at 5, I would eat around 5 a.m. Then I would eat again around like 10 or 11 a.m. And then like my dinner time would be around 4 to 5 p.m. And then I would just relax. Just like take note of that, because like not only does your body have to rest, but your digestive system has to rest as well to continue the schedule. All in all, just a final disclaimer, if you don't wake up at 5 a.m. every day, that does not mean that you're not productive. You can be productive in other ways than just waking up early. It's just it's just people's preferences, and that is my preference. So it does not mean anything about who you are, and like doesn't invalidate like what you do. So you can still be productive even if you wake up at 12 p.m. Some people are night owls when they work. But just for me, like it is just very efficient for me to wake up really early. Anyway, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching. Let's hit 200 subscribers really soon. We're almost there. And let me know what you want to see next in the comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and love you guys.